And this is very interesting because we're in fire monkey year, yang fire monkey year. So yang fire is actually feeding this earth dog, which brings, number one, the potential for more fires, and number two, land shiftings, for instance, with mudslides and volcanoes and earthquakes. So there's a huge force involved in this, what would seem to be an innocuous day. And it's the reason, well, never mind. You don't need to know the reason. It's a production cycle, and it's very interesting. So during this time of yet for a different reason, transition, would you please examine what in your life should you be transitioning from and to? Take a good look. Again, I'm going to say to you, if you'd like to call in and ask, now's your time. 321-806-3159, 321-806-3159, or for heaven's sake, email me, purpleportal777@gmail.com, because I know some of you are shy. It's okay. I would really suggest during this next month, although I'm probably beating a tired drum here, but in a transition, the third month of every cycle is always a transition month. And it's during transition, there's certainly the opportunity to become a bit more worrisome. And then when you worry, well, many, many people hit the sweets or the starches or the alcohol or the drugs. So just a heads up. If you go to non-duality, in other words, that still space within you, which of course is what everything is really luring you back to, you'll be perfectly fine. So stay right there. If indeed you have some lung issues, I'm first going to say to you, look to clear the sorrow in your life, and look to clear your belief in aloneness or loneliness, and look to clear grief. You know, there's a proper cycle for grief. It's not nearly as long as human beings want to believe it should be. Clean it up. Clean it up now. It's the right time to clean it up. You'll be given like the wings of light to lift you above the grief. And if you're hanging out in grief, you actually have missed the boat on the understanding that it's all okay. So you got to get back to that. And you can rant and rave and tell me the next horror story, and I will tell you, and it is as it should be. Let it be, and move back into joy, because I want you to keep your lungs healthy. All right. Boy, time is flying today. Holy smokes. I'm going to actually stop what I'm doing energetically here as far as, okay, we've got the Western astrology and the Chinese astrology, because where I will be eventually going is to the galactic world. But right now, I'm going to take you into the Earth world, where indeed it does seem as if the appearances are that there is a storm brewing. Well, my contention from a soul point of view is there's always a storm brewing. So I am not about to invest this with a lot of my energy. And as I consciously draw my energy from all of the fear and the pandemonium and the hurry, go here, get this, do that. I stay in the eye of the storm. That's how you stay in the eye of the storm. And that's exactly where you want to be. Now, many people in Florida live very close to the water, myself included. So I'm going to say to you, be very calm and listen to the signals within yourself. I would not be listening to too much outside yourself, because you're going to pick up chaotic thoughts and fear thoughts. And if you remain that still and get in touch with that true reality, that unchanging space within yourself, it will calmly direct you if you should be in another space. And if you're not to be in another space, so be it. As you align with the reality of yourself, you actually see the reality in the storm itself. And as you embrace the storm, you see the tendency is run fast. I'm telling you just the opposite. Love, I'm really about to say love her, although this particular storm has been named a him. Love him. Embrace him. It's here for a reason. Hopefully it's not been man-made. Hopefully Mother Nature is sending this way to cleanse and heal ourselves. You know, a lot of us in South Florida recently, unfortunately, have had to endure spray, poisonous, toxic spray against a made-up enemy called Zika. Well, hopefully this would wash that all away, and maybe that's why it's being sent. And you can hold that intention that it does wash all of that poison away. I don't want that in the food I'm eating. I certainly don't want that in the food my grandchildren are eating. If I take myself out of the equation, it's easy to love the little ones. So I don't know why it's coming. I trust it's coming for a perfect reason. And I embrace that reason. And the more of us that embrace it, the lovelier it will be and the more healing it will be. And, you know, in the human condition, okay, we're going to hear the wind blowing. We're going to see the sand coming, the trees falling over. We may see some of that. But I strongly encourage each and every one of you to print out, if you don't have it already, your copy of the 91st Psalm. There is something in there that's very, very important, but the essence of you has to align with it. And what's in there is, no harm comes near my tent. And I'm going to stand in that. No harm comes near my tent. The problem is, I can't intend that for you. Because frankly, I don't know your karmic obligation with this storm. If this storm's karma and your karma is a match for it to be your time to leave, so be it. You're only putting down your uniform. You haven't gone anywhere. It's kind of like my sister Martha stepping in. She hasn't gone anywhere. She put her uniform down. And I know in the United States, that's a difficult concept because you're taught here to fear death and dying and run from it and sustain life at all costs to the cost of insanity. You know, you have a memory of days and incarnations where we knew enough, as the animals still do, except the ones that have fallen under the hypnotic spell of human beings, to try to save them at all costs, which can be very selfish. Animals know enough to simply go into the forest and lay down and leave their body there. So it happens to be a particularly interesting transformative time that can bring you to a point of stillness, a point of knowingness that, wait a minute, the essence of me is absolutely real. And the essence of me is the exact same essence as the storm. I used to believe in my early studies that, part of my big job was to move that storm off coast. And man, I did that. And at times I thought I did pretty darn well. Like, the ego was so invested. Single-handedly, I just directed the essence of such and such away. Nope, I've come full circle. I embrace the essence of this because I'm one with it. And I love it. Whether we call it, him, her, doesn't matter to me. So the more you love it, and the more you understand, no harm comes near your tent. That's the work to be done. It's very simple. A lot of a lot of heavy-duty responsibility falls off your shoulders. It's pretty cool, pretty magical. And incidentally, about that 91st Psalm, I would tell you, print it out, read through it, and make adjustments that serve you. And I know that's heresy because, oh my God, it's the King James edition or it's the such and such edition. I would tell you 99.9999% of all the editions have been well tampered with to serve ego and to serve humankind in a very corrupt, inappropriate way. So make the adjustments and then rewrite it, print it out, and enjoy it. You know, no deadly pestilence has to come near your tent. So don't embrace it. Don't be too interested in it. Just love it and carry on with your life. That's your job today, is to do you. Your job is to love you. Your job is to play Monopoly with your grandkids. Your job is to mow the lawn if it needs it before it really does rain. My job this morning was do the laundry. I felt like doing the laundry. So lighten up. Lighten up with this stuff. Lighten up means become the light that you really actually are. And I know that's such a new concept for some of you, and it's so terrifying, and it's so anti-religion. And yet, you are it. You're the religion. Give up the other stuff. I do, for your purposes to know, I do actually keep a copy of the 91st Psalm 2 places. I keep one in my luggage for when I travel, so that no harm comes near that tent. And I actually keep one in my glove compartment. Oh, there you have it. I keep a lot of fun stuff in my glove compartment. I keep crystals in my glove compartment. I keep this I love about me, I keep a mezuzah in my glove compartment, and most of you are going, what the heck is that? I had to figure it out, but it's got a little sacred scroll in it that kind of probably, if I knew how to read Hebrew, it's probably like a further edition of the 91st Psalm, reminding me, I am safe. The I am of me is perfectly safe because it's divine. How could it not be safe? Okay, so now, all your questions are just pouring in here. One more time so that they possibly could pour in. 321-806-3159. And I am Elaine. I am Elaine Bartlett. And this is the Purple Portal that you are listening to. And of course, to remind you, a portal is an opening to higher consciousness. And all I can do is open the door on it. It's yours to step across. It's yours to enter. In the old days, I used to think, I have to just pull you a little bit. I have to push you. I have to pull you. Nope. I'm just holding the door open. It's all yours. And that means I've actually elevated you to a better step of consciousness within myself. I actually believe you can. And I trust that in time you will. It's yours to do. So it's such a relief that I could let that go, that I don't have to push you, I don't have to pull you, I don't have to cajole you, I don't have to whine, jump up and down. It's a much better world. So galactically, all right, so we've hit Western astrology, we hit Chinese astrology, and now I'm going to take you up a little higher. Galactically, you're in the 3rd month of the galactic calendar, because that actually started late July. And this month is known as something called the electric deer, like a deer in the forest, moon of service. And this galactic month, you can see now, months have different starting points. The most ludicrous of the month starting points is our own Gregorian calendar, because that relates to nothing, and that was all ego designed. So, that one's my bane of existence. So this particular month started September 20th, and it actually runs on through October 17th. And here's your opportunity to activate your service, your sense of service, because you're actually entering more fully into a greater stage of planetary intelligence. That's what's coming about galactically, that our spirit is expanding.